Hello guys, we are from group 2 and we want to explain about pressure control. And here are our consists of our group. And next.
What is the pressure control? The handy pressure control system to provide protection and security to prevent the machines as early as possible against the dangers of fatal damage. In this case, the control system used must be able to prevent the occurrence of high temperatures, of excessive temperature, and fire hazard. In other words, to turn on and off compressor at the time of normal and abnormal pressure. The type of pressure control: there's low pressure control or LPC, high pressure control HPC, oil pressure control, pressure regulating valve, limit switch, motor overload protection, and smoke detector. Pressure control: low pressure control functions to provide protection against excessive pressure. Low LPC contacts normally closed, or NC will open in case of pressure drop under his setting. For example, in low pressure settings, uh, drop under his on this at 35 psi. Then, when under pressure, that this contact will open and automatically disconnect the flow that goes to the compressor, so that the compressor directly to that. A cool room temperature 3 OC head desired by 80 between evaporator and refrigerant use are 12. The minimum temperature of the room is expected to 2 OC. Computers cut in and cut out point. Average temperature of room 4 degree Celsius, 3 degree Celsius, 3 degree until TD, 3 cut out, equal with average temperature evaporator. Minus TD is equal with minus 5 degrees Celsius minus by 8 Kelvin, equal with minus 13 degrees Celsius.
And next, high pressure control. To give protection against high pressure overload, contacts normally close and or NC will open in case of excessive high pressure of above setting. APC is, for example, in the set of 300 psi. Then the NC contact will open and break the current in case of a pressure that exceeds the default. HPC is typically used as a security tool, the compressor in the event of excessive pressure disorder. HPC will stop the compressor on when the pressure is on channel pressed too high. This is done to protect the valve to compressor, and also to protect the motor from excessive load. Next, oil pressure control is refrigeration system control accessories that monitor this pressure difference and give the signal to turn off the compressor if the pressure oil is below to the minimum value. OPC also feature a time delay to avoid control cerebutan or nuisance control, because at the time of starting pressure, oil change takes time to move up, and the recommended delay time is 120 seconds. Next, pressure regulating valve. PRV is a hydraulic or pneumatic system component which serves to regulate the huge pressure of fluid from the system high pressure source, or like a pump, compressor, tank, or reservoir, to the user system is low pressure. PRV has always guarded the fluid pressure whose value is lower than the pressure of the supply. Therefore, the pressure of the fluid before passing through the PRV will always be greater than the pressure after passing through the PRV. Limit switch. Limit switch is electromechanical switches or device that have an actuator lever position modifier as a contact terminal, or from the normally open or no to close, or otherwise of the normally close or NC to open. The position of the contact will be changed when the actuator lever has been pushed or pressed by an object, Same is the case with the switch. Limit switch also had only two conditions, namely linking or decided to current flow or electricity. In other words, only has a condition on or off. Motor overload protection is the electric motor that by the lay people called dynamo. And here is devoted that occur on three-phase AC motor. The function of this motor is a mover or to convert electrical energy into mechanical motion or like the elevator, crusher, conveyor blower or etc. In the industrialized world, the role currently being performed on this motor is very vital. For that much needed protection to safeguard the smooth running of a process. This motor protection system had long been known and grow as technology advanced, ranging from the use of the electric relay, thermal to electronics. In general, the working system can be divided into two with thermal and electronic. Thermal overload. Thermal overload is this motor protection using heat as the limiting current in the motor. This tool is very much used nowadays, usually called TOR, thermist or overload relay. And next, electronic overload. This is the characteristic of the trip and the inverse of the definite. Inverse, it will work like thermal overload, and the difference is its ability to shift the trip curve. So this overload beside the current setting have also trip or class speed adjustment. Next, smoke detector. This tool that used to determine condition of the air have a smoke or no in a room. This tool useful in public place like a mall, airport, and other public place. How to work a smoke detector? The working of the smoke detector is triggered by smoke in smoke detector. Smoke particle that fills space smoke chambers. Way of working smoke detector and its placement when the fire broke out. When the density of the smoke or smoke density already meet the threshold, electronic circuit contained in the smoke detector going off. Because it contains a series of electronic smoke detector needs a voltage.
And here we are our explanation about the pressure control. Pressure control or PC is a mode of mechanical ventilation alone and a variable within other modes of mechanical ventilation. Pressure control is used to regulate pressures applied during mechanical ventilation. The air delivered into the patient's lungs or breath are currently regulated by volume control or pressure control. In pressure control, breath tidal volume achieved is based on how much volume can be delivered before the pressure control limit is reached.
And here another characteristic. And the first one is type of breath. Only mandatory breaths are available to the patient in the pressure control mode in CMV. In PC or IMF, the patient may breathe spontaneously but will get a pressure support breath with PEEP rather than a mandatory breath. And next, triggering mechanism. The mandatory breaths in the pressure control mode are time triggered by a preset rate. And the last one is cycling mechanism. Cycling mechanism is the mandatory breaths are time cycled by a preset inspiratory time.
Next is pressure control ventilation. Using PCV early in a patient's clinical course may improve outcomes. Positive pressure ventilation as opposite to negative pressure ventilation has been the basic approach to mechanical ventilation since the late 1950s. The earliest positive pressure ventilator required the operator to set a specific pressure. The machine delivered flow until that pressure was reached. At that point, the ventilator cycled into expiration, making the delivered tidal volume dependent upon how quickly the preset pressure was reached. Anything that caused regional change in compliance, such as patient position, or resistance, such as bronchospasm, resulted in an undesirable and often unrecognized decrease in delivered tidal volumes, and subsequently hyperventilation due to the machine's premature cycling into the expiratory phase.